This week's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/DJ Force X. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Hello and welcome to this month's let's get this kind of straight now, month's podcast. I have been seriously slacking, and I do apologize to my regular listeners for that. Just a lot of stuff going on, really. Life in general, work, trying to get in touch with my hobbies and things again, my passions from the past, like obviously music, which is all very well documented amongst this podcast, but also when I was back in my teens and sort of early-ish 20s, I enjoyed a bit of wargaming, so I just got back into Necromunda, which I'm going to start a podcast about as well, so it's kind of picking up on that front, which is nice. But yeah, it's just a little game I used to play, and if any other listeners play the game, let me know. It's a little geeky, a little nerdy, but it's about getting back in touch with what made you happy when you're younger. Not so much tapping on the nostalgia front, but just stuff that used to occupy you and just create that sense of cool, Along with that, DJing side of things, I'm back live DJing, as we know, back in Guildford at Players Lounge once a month, and also once Woking is sorted out again, I'll be back in Woking once a month, DJing out rock, metal, a bit of my dance, alternative dance stuff that I do on my other radio show, and stuff like that. And I'm going to be posting videos up once I get my turntables and stuff set up of me basically scratching and stuff again, from scratch, if you will. To not use the pun, but after the BPM show that I went to, I kind of got that itch again when I got up on stage with DJ Rasp and Cutmaster Swift, and just did about a minute of scratching in front of a small audience and stuff, which was kind of cool, kind of got me back into it. It was the first time I've touched turntables like that in a while. I've managed to dig out my old touring turntable, my Vestax, and I'm cleaning that up right now, and I'm going to get up and running. I'm going to dig out my mixer and just do some one turntable scratching over some beats, and then gradually work my way back up to the two turntables with my Technics, do some beat juggling, stuff like that. And that's sort of a general plan for sort of more visual content that I'm trying to produce for this, for my website and things. So if anyone's got any advice, tips, stuff they want to see, get in contact. It's info@djforcex.com or at djforcex on Twitter and Facebook as well. I've got a page there. I'm usually pretty responsive, even though the current percentage is about 64%. But I get a lot of junk mail messages that I don't respond to, so doesn't matter. Anyway, this month's show is Ryan from the band SOiL. I managed to catch up with them when they played the O2 Forum in London. It's been a fair few years since I've been there, and the sort of surrounding areas of Kentish Town. And the pub next door I once played a gig at is now some kind of gastro kind of pub. It's all nicely done up in there with a dining room that looks like a dining room, and upstairs with many leather-bound books and big leather chairs and things like that. But I caught up with Ryan backstage, now a resident of the UK, as you will find out during the interview, which surprised me. But yeah, they were out, I should say, with Alien Ant Farm on a UK tour, and European tour, I should say, supporting their sort of greatest hits compilation they just released, The Essentials, which is great. It's got a couple of good covers on there as well. That you may not have heard before, but along with the classics like Halo, Pride, the Hate Song, and Shine On, and things like that from across their 20-year career, really, on that front. And they've just been announced for the Amplified Festival as well, as a UK exclusive festival appearance for them this year. They are headlining, I think, the Friday on that one. I'll have more news on that, I guess, in future podcasts. But yeah, they've just been announced for that. So keep an eye out for them. And Alien Ant Farm, they're all good as well. Always good fun to watch. The last time I saw them, in fact, was September the 11th, 2011, which is a known day for a lot of my American listeners. But I actually braved London that day to go see them at the LA2, which was fun. Yeah, at the time they were running on the back of the Smooth Criminal cover and things like that, and movies and things, which is all fun. But anyway, I'm babbling because I haven't obviously spoken to you guys in a while, but I'm just going to let you get on with the interview now. So yeah, this is Ryan of SOiL. Enjoy. Check. Cool. Well, where do we start? Here we are, the O2 Forum.
Here we
London.
are. Yeah.
I'm here with Ryan, the singer of the band SOiL. Welcome.
Oh, thank
To
you.
the show. Welcome to the UK as well.
Oh, thanks.
And
It's home now.
It's home now.
Just moved here last December. So
yeah. Whereabouts you sort of?
Swindon. Yes.
I know. Well, my uncle lives there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a small world.
Small world indeed, especially in England. It's pretty small.
My office for company I just started up is in Chippenham.
Oh yeah.
And I was talking to one of the security guards last night in Bristol, and he's from Chippenham. So we were talking. It's like, small world. Yeah.
In England, where everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Cool. Well, welcome to being a resident of England. I recently moved from the States, so I've kind of been living that life for sort of the last 5-6 years. And
I did it for 43.
Yeah,
I was like,
now
time
you're
for
here.
change.
Yeah, get different breakfast.
Get away
here.
from the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was in Florida, so I've escaped the sun completely moving back here.
Right.
So yeah, you're here tonight supporting Alien Ant Farm.
Right.
On a sort of mini Euro tour you're doing.
Yeah, a little baby tour.
Baby tour. How's that been going so far? I know you had one date yesterday in is it Bristol?
Yeah, we're, as SOiL goes, we're a band that's been around, there were dinosaurs and dirt and us. And the way it feels like sometimes. So we don't see each other until the show.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen each other in a couple months. That doesn't have to do with me living over here. I mean, that's just the way we were back there as well. So that first show back is the first time that we're playing any of these songs since the last time we saw each other.
There's no rehearsal going into this?
No, never is for us.
Okay.
So that first show is always kind of like, let's see how she goes.
Yeah.
And last night was that first show, so it was cool.
Yeah? Did it go all right?
Yeah. It always amazes me because, there's the live DVD that came out a while ago, Live in London.
Yeah.
That was the first show in over 8 years.
Really?
We got together for a rehearsal for that.
Yeah.
But we were rehearsing in Staines' old rehearsal spot.
Okay. Yeah.
And there was a club downstairs, and the manager of the club knew we were upstairs, so he brought these pitchers of Jägermeister and Red Bull about halfway through the set that we were rehearsing for the show.
Yeah.
And we never finished the rehearsal.
No?
We got too trashed. So our first time, that show in London was the first time we'd played some of those songs in over 8 years together. So
that's crazy.
That's just, for some reason, that's just the way we've always been. We're just...
No, I mean, if you know it...
it's the bicycle thing.
Yeah. I mean, do they rehearse?
I don't even think they play their instruments at home.
No?
No, from the way it sounds sometimes, I don't think they're...
Because I've caught you guys a few times. Trying to think of the first time. I think it was a festival. It's very blurry. But the one of the most recent was, well, not the most recent, but the one before I left the UK, I went to go see you guys in Southampton. You were on a bill with Puddle of Mud. And...
Right, that was the... Was that I think that might have been the tour.
It may have been.
I think that may have been the when it was supposed to just be that tour, and that was it. But it was after that we decided to go ahead and do another record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, it was a tight show. because I DJ'd the after party as well, so I don't know if you guys were at that or not, but
I couldn't tell you now.
It was the same place. I don't know. It was very blurry. But then most recently, I caught you guys at State Theatre in St. Petersburg in Florida with our boy Skin Dread.
Yes.
And that was a really good show. I really enjoyed that because I had obviously some of your sort of like your older songs that you play from like Pride and Halo and things like that. But I really enjoyed your album Whole as well. Enjoyed Shine On, which is one of your singles off that, and Hate Song. Yeah, I got that right.
Cool.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed that, and obviously now you've got a best of, if you will, a compilation album. How was that? How did you find that, putting that together? Was that just kind of like a set list you kind of like do, or was it literally?
Tim. I think every band's got that guy, and Tim, our bass player, was that guy for us that. He wears many hats in the band, but one of his hats is the curator.
Okay.
He's always he brought stuff out of the woodwork that I forgot even existed. Even that stuff. There's a couple tracks, or at least one I know, tracks on the best of album that we recorded at Dimebag's house.
Okay.
And I forgot that we recorded songs that weekend. We were there for like 4 days.
Yeah.
So I remember all the craziness wrapped up in those 4 days, but I had forgotten that we recorded stuff while we were there, and it was such great memories. But he's the curator. He's got the vault. He's got all that. So he pulled out really what that album is. That's his doing. The stuff that he pulled out. There was a song that I listened to it. I knew that was me singing, but I didn't remember anything about that song ever existing. That was the kind of crap, and we recorded it in the studio, which means we were serious about the song at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been he was that album was his creation basically, as far as having the material and putting it together.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, it's a solid album. Obviously, being a best of, it kind of is a collection of your stronger tracks from your varied career, which is now spanning, is it 21 years, 20 years?
Yeah, this year would be 21. Oof.
How do you sustain that?
I have no idea.
No?
Lucky. Really. I mentioned the new business earlier. Music House number 37, for lack of a better term, management company.
Yeah.
And I say that because I've been in the industry for 21 years.
Yeah.
There's some good managers out there.
Yes.
There's a lot of guys that are just taking people's money.
Yep.
So when I cringe, it's because of the negative side of things that I've dealt with. But the man, I just went completely. I thought about the show tonight, and I completely just lost grasp of where I was.
That's all right. We were you've totally thrown me as well.
You saw that panic look in my eyes. I took you with me.
It's all right. You took me with. It's fine. No, it was. You were talking about you set up. How do you, I asked you how do you sustain that kind of like?
Thank you.
That's it. I figured it out. There
yes, go. And where I went right on that was, or left, or whatever direction I went into, was that I don't know how we got really lucky. The fact that people have still given us the time of day.
Yeah.
To still be able to do this 21 years later is a gift. I mean, that's amazing that people have allowed us to still be these guys.
Yeah.
Doing what we love to do.
I mean, it's testament tonight. I mean, you're playing, it was a relatively big venue, in London, which has always been a sort of haven for a lot of bands. It was for me back in the day. I came to the Astoria, which is unfortunately no longer there. But
don't tell me about it.
I walked past it today, and I was like, "It's the first time I've walked past it since it got torn down." Totally broke my heart because I was like,
"That's my favorite venue of all time."
Exactly.
Of all the arenas, of all the things that I've been allowed to play in my life.
It's the only venue I've never. I always wanted to play, never got to. I got close. There was a club next door called Metro, which was kind of to the right and down and underneath it, which we played, and that was a good gig. But no, I saw many bands. I think I may have even seen you guys there at some point. It's very blurry, but I saw sort of incarnations of like Korn, Slipknot back in like real early days. Like, who else did I see? There's so many bands, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, no, it was just sort of just walking past it was horrible. It was like the ghosts of the past.
Yeah, but I don't know how we're lucky to still be sitting here. But you talk about the Astoria.
Yeah,
that's how what. Still to this day, somebody asks me about what's my favorite venue. It's London Astoria.
Yeah.
And so, if we hadn't been around for all these years, I wouldn't even know that. I would never gotten a chance to play that place. I started to turn left there, and the reason I did is because it is such a luck. It is such a luck of the draw thing.
Yeah.
To number one, get the opportunity. You have to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, you do.
There's been so many better bands and better musicians, way better singers than myself that I've had the chance to share a stage with. They just didn't get the lucky roll of the dice.
Yeah.
And there's so much that has so much to do with it. So it's like doing this whole music house thing, my whole goal, especially, how screwed up the music industry is right now. It's a shell of what it used to be.
It is.
So it's a matter of these kids, and I call them kids because anybody, yeah, when you're this age, they're kids.
No, I feel that.
These guys there's so much talent out there, and they have the same dreams that I had.
Yeah.
And I found myself that the music that's been coming in and listening to it, and it's reinvigorated my passion from that kid that just wanted. But now it's different because now it keeps me awake at night because now it's not my dreams I'm messing with.
Yes,
it's somebody else.
Someone else's. Yeah.
And I just signed my first band out of South Wales, Florence Black.
Okay.
And these kids just great. Their focus, everything about them. I sit in the room, they make me excited.
That's good.
And just being able to listen to the music again. You talk about being so lucky to still be sitting here.
Yeah.
And that whole experience with Music House is making me. It's like trying to find the right buttons to push to get these guys lucky. Also.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that has so much to do with it. I want them to be sitting doing interviews 20 years. From
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a lot of luck to be here.
Yeah, and especially the way that the industry, like you say, is a shell of itself, but the way it's evolved and the way people get their music now, and that kind of that whole argument, that side of it with the digital distribution, it's nice having someone who's kind of been through that. Like myself, when I was in a band, it was kind of on the cusp of that kind of revolution of MP3. Like online sort of streaming was very early in that day. So you had mp3.com, for instance, which was kind of like the MySpace just purely for music.
Right.
You just had that going back that far. But then going through that thing of your music being downloaded legally, if you will, like going through that sort of revolution with the likes of, the big bands that kind of fought that. And now, and how the sort of industry fell behind.
Yeah.
But how, like, with your sort of perspective on it being an artist within that and sharing that with these new artists so they know where it's come from to where it is now.
It's a shell of what it was.
Yeah.
There was like 30 some major labels when we signed back in 2001 to J.
Yeah.
We were on minor labels before that. When we signed to a major label, J Records, there was like 30 major labels at the time.
Yeah.
There was a lot of major labels considered major labels.
Yeah.
Like they were financially considered major labels at the time. Nowadays there's like you can count them on one hand.
You can, yeah. No, a lot of them have formed into one.
Yeah, they've
group.
all merged or they've just disappeared.
Yeah, there's like the Sony Music Group. There's the Warner Group, I think, that's separate. And they've got under them, they've got like Roadrunner and all that kind of stuff. And you just like looking at this and you see all these. I think all these labels were huge. I mean, Roadrunner was huge. They had some massive bands, but they got bought out like everything else.
You look at that's the only way that they were able to survive in any context was to merge with other labels.
Yeah.
And but it was you saw it coming. Regretfully, people saw it coming.
Yeah.
Before people wanted to face that it was coming.
Yes.
We all sat back going, "Why is Metallica bitching about this?"
Yeah.
And now we sit back and go, "Oh, this is why they were bitching."
Right. Lars was right.
Now it makes sense. Thank you.
Okay.
Now it makes
delivery.
sense. Yeah, he's my new favorite guy in the world right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. I feel that way because it was an uphill battle. It was like we said earlier. It was being lucky. So it was always just a matter of just trying to put yourself in a position that you had a better chance of being lucky.
Yep.
So that's why I'm telling these guys now. And the first thing that we talk about is if you have aspirations of being a rock star, get that out of your mind.
Yeah.
Our goal right now is to make music pay your bills.
Yes. Yeah. You start
in this day and age. If you can achieve that, you're already hugely successful.
Yes.
It's times have changed, and yeah, you're right. I've been lucky enough, or however you want to put it, to experience
just to see that evolution. Because in that 20-year period, that's when it's been from the old style to where it is now.
Yeah, when we signed our deal with J Records back when the music industry it's part of the entertainment industry.
Yeah,
and no matter the recession, no matter the depression, no matter what was happening in the world financially, entertainment's never been hurt, because whether people had $10 to their name, they're going to spend $5 on making themselves smile.
Yeah.
So the entertainment industry never got hurt, but all of a sudden one day, they realized that all this crap they were ignoring meant they had to sell their second house in the Hamptons.
Yes.
You know? So
it's no longer the cash cow that it once was. So yeah. So what made you? I mean, obviously moved to England, setting up this management. Sorry, why England?
There was a part of me that I always used to say I was going to, when I retired someday. Yeah. I wanted to retire to York, England.
Okay, nice.
And that was just kind of where I've just always loved it here. I'm a history nut.
Okay, cool.
What do you have in the United States history-wise? You got 130, 230, 240 years of history. Yeah. And that's all they teach you in school, too, because you're American. Nothing else really matters.
Yep. No, my kids were the same. They went through, and it was just American history. And we've come here, and they're now learning about the Greeks, the Romans.
Right.
For instance, this weekend, we went to Fishbourne Roman Palace, which is just a bunch of mosaics and stuff left over from...
Awesome.
Palace. And I mean, with my family, sort of big on the history side of things as well. Like you say, York, that's where my family are from, that sort of area in Leeds. And I've got this old painting of the gates of York and stuff like that one of my distant cousins painted and stuff like that. So, but you come to, it's where history comes from.
Yeah. I think. It's I love it. You just walk down the street and you can look left or right and see something.
I mean, Swindon,
it's older than the country I came from.
Yes,
it's amazing.
That door is older than the United States.
So I always it was a love affair for me from the first day I got to walk on soil. On the soil here in the UK, and so with that. With that being just a part of what I wanted in life, met Chantel, it led to marriage.
Okay.
It was kind of like, where are we going to move to? And it was easy for me. It was like, she's got a successful business going and everything with the Picture House tattoo studio there in Chippenham.
Okay.
And a little plug right there. Throw that in
there. That's good.
She's got a very successful business there with that. And so it was a no-brainer for me that I can do what I do from anywhere.
Yes, yeah.
And then when I came over, I knew I wanted to do something. I'm 43 years old. We never made Metallica money. We never made. So I mean, to think that I'm going to still be able to do this, in another 20 years, no, not a chance. That's just not feasible.
No.
So I, think about what I'm going to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the more I was over here, I'm meeting these band guys and unsigned bands, and I'm seeing the same. I'm hearing the same stuff. I'm seeing the same look in their eyes that I know I had one time, and then you're hearing their music. So and there's so much talent over here. It is frigging crazy.
No, you got some good musicians here.
And I decided that. I didn't I don't like the term manager, but there's not a better one that I could come up with.
I was going to say guidance, mentor,
guidance
guru.
Counselor. I'm the musical guidance counselor.
Flip burgers or this.
And for a while you'll do both.
Yes. I remember holding down 3 jobs whilst being in a band, and because you had to, because they had to be. If you wanted to tour, want to do that, you have to work as well as work.
Yeah, I slept on I was one of those odd stories. I slept on the floor of our guitarist's garage for 3 years in SOiL. For 3 years. I was in 3 bands at the time. The one band rehearsed Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays back in Indiana. And the other one on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then after rehearsal on Friday, I would pack up and drive 5 hours to Chicago to rehearse with SOiL. Twice on Saturday and once again on Sunday before I drove back home to start the weekend. That was while working 40 hours a week at the cabinet factory.
So, that's crazy.
So it was. But I see that same passion in the eyes.
No, that's good. That's what you want to see. And
I deal with a lot of new bands as well with what I do now, just sort of getting submissions from them and stuff, and going out, seeing local supports and stuff. But yeah, just seeing that kind of guy, like that passion in their eyes that you used to get. And
we just signed our first band, Florence Black.
Yeah,
out of South Wales, like I mentioned, and that passion.
Good.
Yeah,
you'll have to send me.
It is. Oh, I would love to.
Demo or something.
It's definitely reinvigorated myself.
Cool. Yeah, because I've got a couple of shows that I do, so I can,
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
They're definitely good guys. I could keep calling them. They came out last night to the Bristol show and went out and had some cocktails after the show and. Yes, the 22, 23-year-old guys, and then there was the old man. Yeah.
How did that go? Did you keep up with them? Or
No, I did my typical ghost.
Okay.
At one point, I realized that I've got X amount of steps that I need to take in order to get to the bus.
Yeah.
And I've only got X amount of steps left in me. So I better head to the bus now or else I'm going to make it. So luckily, I made the right call. So I know at one point in time, because I woke up to a bunch of text messages from them being like, if you read them, it was kind of like, man, thanks for the evening, had a great time. But they're kind of open-ended, kind of like they weren't sure what kind of mood I was in, because when I was done, I don't even think I said goodbye. Okay. I typically don't. My friends are always like, what you do with Ryan is you check it. If he's left his cigarettes, he'll be back. If his cigarettes are gone, you're not going to see him the rest of the night. He went home. So that was last night. He was like kind of looking around going, okay, time for me out. I'm out. Gone.
Cool. Well, I've got one final question for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of a question I ask everybody that I speak to on this show. 3 albums that shaped the person that you are today.
Oof. Wow. That's tough. Yeah. I'll kind of go backwards on it.
Yeah, go for it.
Alice in Chains. I don't even know really what album I'd count though, because it wasn't necessarily the first one. It wasn't Facelift that hooked me line and sinker. And it's not saying that it wasn't, but they were the first band.
Okay.
That I kind of claimed as my own.
Okay.
Because I grew up in a house where there was a lot of music going on.
Yes.
Alice in Chains was the first band that was my band.
Yes.
I found them.
Yes. I know that feeling.
Yeah, so Alice in Chains was that first. So yeah, Facelift. I loved Facelift. So, Facelift. Anything that said Alice in Chains on it.
Yes.
Especially those acoustic albums. But I would say, even though musically it doesn't really count, but at the same time, AC/DC's Blow Up Your Video was the first concert I went to.
Okay.
So that album was responsible for that tour, and so that tour was the first concert. So that was such an influential, as a kid, my dad took me to that concert. So in that concert with my dad, my brother who was 5 years older than me, that was that first moment of, you saw videos and you saw stuff on TV, but that was the first. I mean, and that's back when arena shows were arena shows.
Yes.
You had the missile coming up out of the stage. You had Angus Young kicking the door open and coming out. You had the bells coming out and the cannons coming out, and that was, I want to do that. So yeah, those two, and then maybe the third, Schneike's. Oh man, just personally, I think maybe this like an album from like a best of like Creedence Clearwater.
Yeah,
because that's still a band to this day that I could put on and be just as happy listening to their stuff as. I think one thing amazing about them too was just the fact that they were a bunch of guys from California that sounded like they were from Louisiana.
Yeah.
So, but that would be my 3. Yeah, it's timeless music.
Yes.
So I think that those are 3. Those would be my 3 albums.
Excellent. Well, cool. Thank you very much, Ryan. We got to bring this to the end now.
I appreciate you.
You got a show to do.
I appreciate you letting me drone on forever. And
that's all good.
And going down the wrong path so much that I got us both lost.
That's all right. No, it's all good. I enjoy getting lost.
Thank you. Today, I appreciate your time.
But thank you again. And good luck with the show tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Cool, man. Thank you.